Good morning. It's me, Connie. Um, it is Monday, February 24th, and I'm going to be reading the gist for today, which is about feelings. Oh, yay, right? We all love those feelers we have now that we aren't numb. Um, and they can come and go and be different from moment to moment. And what we need to do is learn um, how to handle them clean and sober and handle them in our mental health and handle them whoever you are. Um, I bring up these other things because obviously, if you're in a program because you have substance abuse or mental health or both, or you are in like overeaters or Al-Anon, you have a bunch of feelings and you need to work on them. But everybody in everyday life needs to work on this and realize that our feelings are just that, feelings. And we can start keeping track of when these certain feelings come up and seeing what possibly could be triggering them. The whole HALT thing. Are you hungry? Are you angry? Are you lonely? Are you tired? That's an acronym, HALT, that we use in the 12-step programs. And you really got to watch out for that stuff too. Are you getting the proper rest? Maybe you need to go to the doctor. Maybe something's going on that you don't realize. And another thing is maybe you just have a lot of feelings, and everybody has the right to their feelings. Whether someone else can't tell you, well, that's not right when you're feeling a certain way. They're your feelings. Maybe you know, you can come to learn that they're over exaggerated, or you can come to learn how to take care of those feelings, but they're your feelings. So nobody else can tell you, that, oh, you're full of crap. That's not right. So, anyway, let's get on to the reading. If I can see it, give me a moment here. So, for us in recovery, it's more than just pleasure. Basic text, page 42. In our active addiction, most of us knew exactly how we were going to feel from one day to the next. All we had to do was read the label on the bottle or know what it was in the bag, and we planned our feelings, and our goal for each day was to feel good. Of course, those of you who got to the place where it never worked again knows that didn't continue. It was fun at first, but you get to a point where, it no longer feels good. So, in recovery, we're liable to feel anything from one day to the next, even from 1 minute to the next. We may feel energetic and happy in the morning, then strangely let down and sad in the afternoon because we no longer plan our feelings for the day. Each morning, we could end up having feelings that are somewhat inconvenient, like feeling tired in the morning and wide awake at bedtime. Of course, there's always a possibility we could feel good, but this isn't the point. Today, our main concern is not feeling good, but learning to understand and deal with our feelings, no matter what they are. We do this by working the steps and sharing our feelings with others. Just for today, I will accept my feelings, whatever they may be, just as they are. I will practice I will practice the program and learn to live with my feelings. So, none of us like to feel out of sorts. None of us like to feel sad, brokenhearted. Um, None of us like to feel let down, or anything. You think of it however it is that you don't. I don't like to feel anxiety. I don't like to feel that someone is judging me or my family. I don't like to feel, um, lots of feelings. But I have learned over the years that they are just feelings, and feelings are not going to kill me. Just like when you're As long as, okay, so I guess what I want to say is as long as I don't act on my feelings when they're negative, and I can just talk it through in my head or with my, support group or with whomever is around at the time, then I'm safe from, acting out in a harmful way. If you're feeling like you want to kill yourself, call somebody. Call 911. They'll come. They'll take you to a hospital. It's not against the law. You won't go to jail. It doesn't go on your record. There's huge HIPAA laws around your privacy with mental health and drug and alcohol and all that. It's even higher than like your regular medical records. But if it's just like you're feeling so sad, or you're feeling, and I don't mean just like that's nothing, or you're feeling really angry, or as long as you don't act out on those things, take time to think, why am I feeling this way? Like I said, the HALT. Are you hungry? Are you angry? Are you lonely? Are you tired? um, did you wake up in a bad mood and now everything your coworkers say throughout the day is just pissing you off? um, why are you wide awake at night? For women going through menopause, it's their hormones, changing. I can talk about this. I'm 57. No one can get offended. Um, so we are tired when we wake up, but we can't sleep at night, and we get frustrated and feel frustrated from that. And that's just something we're going to have to go through, or we can go seek medicine to help us with that. But feelings are very powerful, and our words with other people are very powerful, as far as creating feelings. So when you're talking to somebody else, you should say, I feel when this happens, blah, blah, blah. It's about me. I'm feeling this, not you make me feel blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work that way. Nobody can make you, they say nobody can make you feel a certain way, and I buy into that. But at the same time, words are very powerful. So um, other people should take responsibility too for what they've said or done, and not use it as, well, I can't make you feel that way. um, by just saying something, you need to take responsibility for the words coming out of your mouth, as well as how it's received by the other person. And they need to think about why they're that you allowed that person to make you feel that way. Because sometimes, you can just laugh and be like, oh, well, it's really about you, I guess, on that one. It's not about me, or vice versa. I'm sorry, that was my stuff, and, move on. So lately, I've been feeling a huge responsibility, in the world that we live in right now. I got cut off before on one of the other videos, but I'm going to go into it today a little bit. A huge responsibility to teach our young women, our daughters, our daughters' friends, our just whoever we come across, and the topic comes up on about women and how our rights are being threatened, in a lot of ways. So I just want to give you a little story. When I was a little girl, I went to Mission Park Elementary School. That's in Salinas Valley. And at that time, only boys were allowed to be the patrol people, that went out and held the signs and stopped the cars so kids could cross the street. I know at this particular school, I don't think they even have patrol people anymore. But at that time, it was only boys. And so a group of us girls were like, why is it only boys? Remember, this was, a long time ago. And we saw our older sisters, and we saw on the news and everything that the women's movement going on, and we were fearless young little kids. So we took a petition around and got it signed, took it back to the school, and we were able to become patrollers. So in that area at least, I was the first group of girls who got to be patrollers, and to me that's really it's really an amazing story. It's fun, and it's amazing that we even thought we could. But now when I drive around and I see the girls and the boys doing this all together, um, I think if they only knew, back in the day. And I'm sure, I'm not saying we were the first ones in the planet to do this, but we were in our community, and it was a big deal. And so that simple little thing changed for the future, outcomes of a lot of girls who don't know that once upon a time it was only boys who did that and the women weren't allowed. I think that as women, we need to really just inform our girls and our the women around us. Excuse me. Good morning, coffee time. Um, of what we've had to do. So, like Planned Parenthood, for example, when it first opened, I was in my early teens and I actually went there. And the first time I went there, I used a fake name because I thought there was no way that they weren't going to call my parents, even though that was promised, there was no way, and so actually, I missed that appointment that day because when they called my fake name I gave them, I forgot what fake name I gave them and I missed my appointment. But from then on, for many, 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 many years after that, I used Planned Parenthood as my way of getting my female health checks, birth control, all of that kind of stuff. And I taught this to my girls, and they've all been to Planned Parenthood. They're grown now. And so, I mean, and now Planned Parenthood is huge. Back in the day, it was like in these old houses, at least where I came from. And now they're actual clinics, and they're not abortion clinics. They are female health clinics, and they're birth control, your, your STDs, free condoms. They do pap smears. They do counseling. They do, you know, they talk to you about domestic violence and all kinds of things that our young girls and grown women need to hear about. Um, it's not this evil place, you know. It is a total women's health place to go. And if we take this away, we take away a huge thing from low income. Mostly will suffer, low income will suffer. It just makes me sad. So, and I think that, we need to teach our women about our young girls and our up and coming future CEOs and all this about the pay. We've come a long way, but we're still not making the same pay for the same job with men. The Asian cultures um, are the closest in women's pay and men's pay, but uh, white women here in America, it's like 80 cents to the dollar. African American women, it's in the mid 70 cents to the dollar. Latino women have the lowest rate of all, and they're either, the high 60s or low 70s um, to the dollar of men. And, things have got to change. Um, Lots of things are changing. I mean, we have women in the sciences now and math and, um, of course, doctors and neuroscientists and, you know, uh, the things that are still probably predominantly men, but we have brilliant women out there doing these things. But we need to talk to our daughters. It's not about just being pretty princesses and all of this. We want them to be strong and brave and courageous and smart. That smart is pretty. Smart is interesting and attractive. I know women for years have thought men who are smart are very attractive. So it goes the other way unless the man feels threatened. So, I mean, you don't want to get with someone who feels threatened by your intelligence and insecure by your securities. So we need to explain these things. We need to also explain the uh, red flags of domestic violence to our young women. So anyway, I'm going to go on and on and on about this, but my point is I feel a huge responsibility to educate our young women about this stuff. And I know there's others out there like me who feel that same responsibility. We can't go backwards and we can't allow any kind of administration stuff to go backwards. So we need to stand up, maybe not stand up um, and act crazy about it, but stand up intelligently and talk about these things. I am not this, I don't care if you want to stay home and take care of your kids and cook and clean and do the things that were only allowed for us in the past. If that's what you want, that's what you want. I want freedom of choice and freedom of choice in all things. And I want equal rights for all things. If you're a man and you want to stay home and cook and clean and take care of the kids, I know many men who do that. In fact, my OBGYN who delivered my youngest baby, who happened to also deliver her baby now that she's an adult, said that her husband, she went to school to be a doctor. She didn't plan on getting married. She ended up getting married, but the deal before they got married was you're going to stay home and be the house person because I'm going to be dealing with my patients and on call all these hours. And she said, and he's a way better mom than I could ever be. He has fresh cookies baked and the neighborhood kids come and, he's great with the kids. So I want freedom of choice for everybody without stigma, making you feel weird. So we need to teach these things, and men need to teach their sons, how to be good men and not abusive and privileged and all of that stuff. So anyway, so those are feelings that I have. And back again, just for today was about learning to deal with our emotions and what can we do with them and what triggers them and all of that. So just for today, be mindful of how you're feeling and then think about, when was the last time you felt like this? And you can keep a journal on your feelings and maybe you'll start seeing a pattern to it as well. So thank you very much. It's Monday morning. Um, I'm always glad to be here and I hope somebody gets something from what I say. I don't care if it's one person, but anyway, so Monday morning, I got to get ready to go to work. Thank you so much for being here, being, with me every day. Leave comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video on YouTube if you watched it. That'll help me out. Um, so thank you so much and see you tomorrow morning. Have a good day.